Hello, everyone. It's Tuesday, July 29th, 2025. We have a business meeting to take care of a few items before people are traveling and we don't have an in-person forum. Summertime. No announcements from me. Anyone else?
No.
Nothing to modify on the agenda?
No.
Okay. The first item is an approval to purchase a Hawk SC 4500. Cannot eloquently describe this, but it is a machine that receives data related to effluent and communicates it to another part of the system in the water treatment plant. That is the best I can do for you. It's a sole source provider, and we need to purchase it quickly. We cannot go forward with other filtration upgrades without it. So it is in the amount of what? It's just over. So would you like to make a motion, Tweeps?
Sure. Kathleen, can I just ask, there's no installation cost because the village does it itself, right?
No. I'm actually not positive on this one. If it's what many of them Matt can do himself, I'm not positive on this.
I make a motion to approve the purchase of a Hatch SC 4500 in the amount of $3,327.10.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. We have on the agenda authorizing me to sign with Jeff Vidakovich. Andrew had some thoughts and questions that I thought were worth discussing. So you want to discuss it now?
No.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to table that one. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next is authorizing the mayor to sign a retainer with Thomas, Strohan, Waxman, Pettigrew, and Mail labor attorneys. Motion, since you're authorizing me to sign.
I make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the retainer with Thomas, Doran, Waxham, Pettigrew, and Maley LLP.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye. Appointment of trustee Andrew Hall to the audit committee. This is not something that we need to vote on. It's at my discretion, but thank you for stepping up to take on that task. Tweeps will be your partner in that.
Thank you.
It'll be a great orientation to the budget and expenses. All right, and last, the pressing item for today, Andrew has been negotiating with Bonnie Charm Inc. for a photo shoot on August 5th. As always happens with these requests, they evolve. So give us a sense of where we are.
Well, it's a large crew of 33 people that they've identified at this point. A motorhome, 3 trucks, 2 passenger vans. So it's quite a large footprint. It's been somewhat of a moving target because it keeps changing.
And it's no longer just still photography, right?
No, they've added a 3-person video camera crew in. I mean, I think we can accommodate them in the village down at the municipal lot with present. So
Seems as if the officer in charge felt that even with the modifications, 1 officer was enough.
he hasn't commented to the contrary yet.
Keep going.
So, and the concerns are to get a precise definition of, or a more precise definition of, where they actually want to shoot, which village properties they want to shoot on. And they're not going to really be able to, they say, because they're kind of cutting their costs with the budget, because they're not doing a prep day like you would ordinarily do in these circumstances. You would have a photographer come down to the site, watch the sun, figure out where the shade is, what the preferred locations are, and so forth. So whilst they're proposing to come down at 8 o'clock on Tuesday, stay 12 hours through 8 p.m. And whilst the models are in the motorhome going through hair and makeup, the photographer will go around and identify the sites where he wants to shoot. OIC Jackson, had great suggestions about zoning off 2 or 3 parking areas in the village to manage the traffic better. I think nevertheless there will be something of a large footprint with them, and we'll have to be on our toes to make sure it doesn't get out of hand, which is why we would need the police officer. When it comes down to fee, we've discussed a fee. I think we're moving towards a number that we can, that is acceptable to us. But that part of the negotiations is still out there right now. And if I'm able to say, the attorney is reviewing the contract that we intend to send their way, which is in a draft form at the moment.
So it seems like because they're still modifying, it might make sense to approve a not less than amount and retain the flexibility to add another officer if, as planning progresses, Matt feels that needs a second.
I think that makes a lot of sense, yeah. I mean, we have a number in mind. We can do a not less than amount, and also built into the contract, which is under review at the moment, there is, I suggested that we reserve the right to bill them for any overages should they be incurred. And the mechanism for doing that is kind of informal. It's more of a discussion at the time that it's happening, you know, during the shoot, identifying it and coming to some kind of mutual agreement about what that could amount to. Might be a little difficult to enforce or collect, but
well,
at least
I mean, we've done that. We've done it with other companies.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, but
Yeah.
my takeaway after having done this a few times now is that they always they describe a much smaller footprint than they end up bringing, and it is inevitably more impact than they imagine.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's unreasonable. I don't think it's unreasonable to be where we are in terms of numbers.
I think the real exposure we would have is the idea of an extra officer might be needed. Yeah.
But even within the number we've been discussing, we still have capacity.
Yeah.
Okay. So would you like to structure a motion? So authorize the deputy mayor to sign once it's finalized.
Okay.
And whatever terms that we think we want to lay out, the not less, if an extra officer is needed and pending final review. by attorney.
Sorry, and that makes me think about communications out to the public too, about, you know, if and when we identify the location where
That is,
the motorhome would go.
that is of the essence of the agreement. They are required to notify the proximate businesses. I think it might be helpful to maybe have some signage on the street saying like photo shoot in progress. And then as far as the motorhome is concerned, they're going to have what they call a base camp. So the motorhome, some tents for craft services, and a couple of their other transportation vehicles will be parked down at the village lot, which again, I think Officer Jackson is going to negotiate with them which parcel or half of the village lot they got. But from what I see, that should more than accommodate them.
Right, exactly. In terms of the notice to residents, the scout has notified business owners. They have individual contracts with several business owners for shoots in front of or inside. And so the businesses around, we understand, to have already been notified. We asked them to hold on the resident announcements until some of these items were more clear.
Okay.
And so that should be, I guess that should be a condition of our motion as well.
But I get, like, I would hate to be in a situation where we're like, for some reason, still negotiating this on like over the weekend or something.
No, because sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but what I put in the agreement was, again, the essence of the agreement is that we receive confirmed payment via wire transfer no later than this Friday.
Okay,
This Friday.
great.
So they have to sign and they have to pay us.
Awesome.
So in terms of the motion I'm making, is it to authorize either of
The deputy mayor.
Okay.
It's fine, because they're not gonna have it before I leave today.
Okay. So I make a motion regarding the Bonnie Charm photo and film shoot proposed for August the 5th. That's next week, next Tuesday, between 8 and 8 p.m. to enable or authorize Tweaks, the deputy mayor, to sign the contract subject to 2 or 3 provisions that we agree upon an amount, a fee that's not less than an amount that we agree on.
It's okay, you can say the amount.
Of not less, we're requesting a fee of $9,500. We think that's a fair and reasonable price, but not to sign anything not less than $9,000. Also subject to the inclusion potentially of an extra police officer, subject to Matt's assessment of the situation, officer in charge Jackson's assessment of the situation, and they must also fulfill a requirement to notify proximate residences of the activities that are going to be happening.
You just made a motion for 9,500, not less than 9,000. I thought we were saying not less than 95,000.
Oh, you're correct. Sorry. I'll correct myself. Sorry to misspeak. So we're saying the contract amount should be a figure of not less than $9,500, $9,500.
And to be wired, received, and contract signed on Friday.
And that amount, per the contract, should be wired into the village bank account, confirmed no later than end of business day, Friday, the 1st of August, I think that is 29:30. First of all, yeah. Did you get all of that?
Probably not. So if you could email
Okay.
actual wording to me,
Yeah.
so that I could get it accurately.
Should I say it one more time?
Let's say it one more time so that it's clear for Mike.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize the deputy mayor to sign a contract with Bonnie Charm Inc. for a photo shoot in the village on Tuesday the 8th Tuesday the 5th between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. The contract amount should be not less than $9,500. That's one condition. Second condition is subject to Matt's determination whether an extra police officer should be added. And thirdly, another condition is that there should be notification to local residents that may be impacted.
You also mentioned about the funds being
And
wired.
the funds will need, per the contract, need to be wired into the village bank Friday with their confirmation of that.
Second question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have to, right?
Yes,
I suppose,
yes.
yeah.
Okay, so that was unanimous. Mike, any questions from you? Okey doke. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. As we